So that is my thing there right now. That like and like maybe like the last thing that I might be wanting might be for like the next one people that find out about like trust or secrets. So like I'm going to find trust or what like I'm going to find know to like the right now I'm just going on some courses with female friends. So then trust of taking know to what might be exactly trust out that there might be the secret hidden set up, out of them set up might be literally so trust of taking there and basically sort of putting snow into a tied up state with even snow mount as well as the stage the scenario that I was running. And I'm going to find like all of that crosses by seeing all of this driven through. So like at that point like crosses intimating them and basically telling them to that not even speak, not even stood there to like speak the word about this to any of that first people to their own like from the we're telling them and that I'm those that way next morning that I'm to bring like the night first people that waking up to that the situation of that snow surrounding the city. So like that when I'm different of like the night first people that looking everywhere move to like the last person in the surrounding area to the traffic home shouting out to like snow like it's not excited about it. So like that way that one they would be still be able to like find snow like I'm different for like more of like great aspect again rather like so like and that but rather in the casual manner like telling more from that not like the wilding myself or um, no, to the down the range lack of the line and that point that is not expensive. So like at that point I'm going to bring for like SNAP more technique, no depict that the facial expression of that you don't pick off at the facial expression really. So that they have to explain it out with it or like the way to like see that work to like some and tell some actually that what actually happened to like like it's not that on the so that at that point it's not going to find a sense straight away telling more much about like the situation, and at that point, that I'm not bring up in confronting fracture. Right? At that point, I'm not bring the moment former working confronting fracture, like I'm going to bring fracture getting enraged and actually feels like was not that I'm going to do like at that point that fracture in a reckless manner attempting to make a move against that Morgan. So like I'm not bring at that point like Norman single-handedly on board and defeating fracture like not that I'm going to bring. And in that flash, I'm going to be something more category for that's the long of that part of most likely happening is like not that I'm really playing. And then I'm only putting the belief that taking that sun at first people towards like that hidden cellar and the my first people that we're finding snow and that free like the scenario that I'm really putting. And that way I'm going to find the or like the voice of like Rasta finally being free from Rasta and finally getting the freedom of like the scenario that I'm going to do. Like at that point I'm going to find more and that more than most likely giving the order to most likely Sam to take that order while the left fracture backs to like the ball location while Norman along with like snow and like the remaining network with that continuing on their sales that in our better okay. Like I'm totally fine at percent if like the network within like there might be not much to do it's not at all at like the ball location. So like Sam taking good care of all the ways uh of like fracture and like during this time period and also bring like a bond of that thing of like lot of the thing being formed within like them and village like now it's but and them sort of thing so much affiliate also like the growth of that area and generally like I'm probably putting uh the new night watch or close like it without period or making it to not the bond of getting that was not there and so like at that point I'm not putting all like the vice of like custom getting into that serious cover against like the like it's not quite the result like it's not available. But like at that point I'm different what to be idea genre and I'm looking at that point Sam not being able to like do anything much at all to like the victim single handedly like it's not available. So like at that point I'm definitely putting for like idea as well as genre as well as like the mysterious person. And mysterious like my first who like idea that literally like coming to like Sam and then always by help with like and protecting the reflex not that emerging. That way I'm probably putting that the bond of like friendship being formed between like Sam and idea and the group of like idea when this person has to like generate it's like also in my knowledge like feeling the scenario and visible. It's in like that lead by the theorem right now. It's the main ball and then the current mission itself for that individual law of that movement most likely happening that there is a scenario that the position and dating ball was the policy of that eventually what to be during a scenario where like eventually the night watch period the different movement and like the night watch would even be ending up running into until then to check the scenario that I'm using. But like I'm going to bring first to not be under Benjamin, but like first to be a white worker controls under Benjamin, and that when it's not in general, actually like more I'm going to bring even while being cautious, I'm going to bring getting tricked and basically like I'm going to bring at that point for that whole lot of that along with that under Benjamin, like a whole lot of that humans under by white workers that would be hiding. Like I'm going to bring all of them appearing and surrounding then methods there is like challenge that and at that point I'm going to bring more like the majority, including more like the majority of that the my first group that individuals that in that methods group getting brought down that is not that other thing. And at that point I'm looking for the only snow as well as like Sam as well as like very few methods that will be surviving is like it's not that other what might be certain I'm and I'm going to bring possibly only through help that like Sam I'm going to bring to be surviving that situation that only and then manage it to like a state and at that point, I'm going to bring that them to be focused on getting back to like the world as soon as possible. Uh, might be like situation, but like at that point, like Sam definitely not forgetting about like killing his like the scenarios that I'm going to bring. So like Sam telling me that like they have to go to like really just like the scenario that I'm working that way as like and Sam. And at that point, I'm looking that what might be according to my group, that's a small group, I'm looking what to be snow that would be leading that small group in the place of that moment at that point, like the more like scenarios that are working. So like I say, which is making it to raster space like I'm going to by then I'm totally looking for gradually this one and basically transfer most likely to that sun to that the white books like the scenarios that are different and really not being able to like do anything about it really at that point we choose there the front of not being able to like stop it. It's like it's not a channel but like that has to be raised and frustration being brought into thing that really towards that front of which I'm not going to be increasing and point where like I'm not going to while cluster will be a same that really I don't think like when the cluster like it's not kind of different but that doesn't that really and also different that jadi getting into the fight cluster and basically cluster deciding to like down getting that the situation that is different to be when at that very last second when I'm looking for like and snow making it their selection not that environment. So like at that point after different team situation that can embrace that straight away attempting to like typically them bring down fast but like that attempt of like some failing with like craft of for instance like it's not better but like at that point after the point you know helping out and like it's no typically and bringing down craft and like a lot of craft happening and so such a manner that also the thing to be out the vice of craft of the finally the free is from master like including the things that fit into snark that is sort of and maybe at that point like I'm talking like snow and some most likely maybe therefore there to be a carriage at like campus place so like I'm going to bring like sun riding like the carriage along with like snow and like then making and with all the lights of that restaurant usually then that day making it back to like the mall in time. It's like the other Indian scenario kind of is totally correct right now. So definitely my particular emphasis right now is maybe for like trying to be able to like walk in and to see them through a series of like scenarios where like I'm just bringing it in the brand into the execution of like getting taught by white organization we getting taken control by the white worker and from that point on so when the moment that the white worker will be taking control brand and the emission and from that point on that the white worker so that control being able to like make brand walk again just like the scenario that I'm going to and yet like I'm totally trying know to like not to find out about that that situation like Twitter and that something to that brand that's about you and basically that by then for like like also have to figure out how to like save the human ones being that once that human have been taken control by like the white people. It's also like a scenario. There might be a solution to that. It's also like about the development. Like that way I'm not trying like managing to like save brand and return back to like normal and free from like the control of the white people. And from at the moment trying to be returning back to like normal self at that point itself, like brand due to that the control of like the past control of the white paper control. And from that point on, like branding it to that continue working. But not only that, but like, at that point I'm going to bring ran out of that absolute besides that I'm going to bring without wasting much time that climbing that entirety of like, the world also way to like the various of shopping at that point is that the physical scenario that I was about to think is that but leave up the information definitely from like of need to like perfectly come up with like some sort of like an exchange kind of thing. Just like happens like it's not that of the different where like currently most like the any happens that basically evidence of that Gavin and Rob are able to like get their revenge against like Joffrey. But only other like the conditions that like Rob and his like that army work under and work for really temporarily. Then I would like help really to use the throne inside its throne. To get out the end that really would be telling that it's like it's not that about the only thing. So like at that point I'm replying that standing straight away feeling off about like Rob taking orders from really the idea of that I'm going to think that it would be easily offers out it, especially for Brienne. So yeah, like I'm going to get in at that point, agreeing to like a release and like once I get in, I'm going to bring them get in return back to that form. So like at that point, like get in you're revealing her deal with like when they like at that point I'm going to bring that from straight away agreeing to that it's like it's not each other but like I'm still for campaigns supposed to be still feeling off and I'm going to bring it actually get it themselves not allowing all about to proceed with that deal like it's not that about different networks about different like chatting, telling about that basically about like far more skillful and capable and far more worthy than to like just work for and take orders from like some like friendly to be around the example different like chatting so be at that point telling about that basically that they can bring down with like Rob James and brilliant like Rob certainly will be able to figure out a way to bring down Joffrey and his army and get their revenge by themselves, like as then how it should be. So the Canadians went insisting on that assistant and basically so finally agreeing to it like it's now acceptable. So like that way I'm going to bring them to assembly without consider or like sending a raven towards like apparently and basically at that point like so the raven like was like currently that they're going to another end to be finding out the change in like their that you know famous with like friendly that and that point out of the friendly especially I'm assuming that basically that so like Rob and Catherine might want that Rob to like not only to like get revenge from them like get revenge but might also for them wants to have like Rob to like also take the throne and like the landing might be along the lines and sort of things that only straight away coming out of such an assumption and that way that friendly most likely seeing Rob as like a rival to rival to like the throne from that point of like and planning again from that point on that is not that I'm so like the possibility that I'm going to go like that like to like not out like that's the deal of like a renly which I'm bringing into the renly would be presenting and like the other possibility that I'm bringing that way like that is straight away like predicting like the deal and basically that is straight away leaving like scenario that I'm but like I'm prototyping Gatling to now most likely even consider such an exact worst-case scenario and lack on those things Gatling had automatically that Brienne of like an absolute as that I think that she's able to get Brienne to like join of army might be around the next Gatling might be thinking so that's not bring by the time that way according to my other prediction that by the time Gatling is to leave when we like around this place that I Gatling to have in the calculated man of gain like the liking of like Brienne to the point of like Catherine getting Brian to Latin D was like Catherine at that point, it's like it's not Karen Rose, like Brian, dealing with along with like Catherine maybe in a skeleton man of or not like scenario Karen Rose, and that way instead of like around 1,000 men of that and the emperor to bring Catherine returning to that of place, so like only a single Brian is like the other in the scenario Karen was a total fish. So that's the theme of the end of somebody else that like beyond maybe might be the kind of guy who might be deeply bold and courageous only when he has that strong support and backing on side might feel like that this is the case that need the other. So in that again, right now the putting box to on the big level, that's the reason success of Rob like I'm looking that he wants to be a certain maybe feeling feel strongly that like Rob might be the fear in that the exchange and getting some that so certainly at that point if that Theon at present decides to let join Baelum and Yara, then at that point that Theon is beginning to get seats trouble and won't be at standing a chance against that call after I guess like Rob trades to build along the lines like Theon feeling and that way like I'm protecting like Theon straight away in leaving and basically going back to that Rob and basically making that absolute betrayal on that Baelum and Yara and basically revealing everything about like the updated situation and about like and Yaro's plan to off while totally putting on that fake acting and pretending as just be honest, like absolutely loyal, still loyal to like Rob. Who's like the Rob and the first like giving the scenario of like one possibility that I'm looking the other possibility that I'm looking is for like maybe Fiona present to like maybe without a state or come up with like the strategy of like having uh before like Titan army and clashing with like Rob's army to have Venom sent a Raven to that Raven and Raven's face and basically like talking about the secret allegiance between like Venom army as well as like Titan army to bring down Rob's army. To be around the lines of like a strategy beyond easily like a list like the other possibility that I'm listening to. It's the like definitely one of the new I'm looking right now is for like without created at or like I'm the thing for like Sansa to be venting out in front of like Shay and like triggering Sansa's like and life story until this point is like the scenario. So Shay is like scenario that I'm looking at that point I'm looking for to be Shay that I'm looking to be planting that's the seed of like uh revenge. Shay was like I'm looking telling Sansa that basically to get revenge against like Joffrey for everything he did like not that I'm looking and soon after saying that I'm looking not to or like Shay getting found by succeed that the scenario that I'm going to bring, and that way without delay or like the law of like stay happening to like Sansa as well as like Tyrion Chapel. So until that point, I'm not planning for like Tyrion to be the crazy something for like stay on its own, but like not being a plus my chase like the scenario that I'm going to go. But like I'm probably going even after like the norms of the say, like I'm going to spend those words of say to like get revenge against like Joffrey, like I'm just going to be very much like reflect the law of say, like I'm going to those words gaining way more within like sort of my like living scenario which I'm not trying to traveling in like the future like sons are like bringing down job which is like the bigger scenario that I'm looking to. So yeah, certainly when there are becomes for like especially when the scenario where like I'm not trying for like of you know like I've been making it towards like England and at that point I'm looking about getting that answer so Sansa so what maybe Sansa telling us that they she is love Joffrey and actually staying there and support and that and another like that she's of idea safely near the King's Landing. That's the scenario and that way Sandra sending Rob and gaming away is like one possibility that I'm referring. But like Sandra doing all of that only with like the intent to eventually get a revenge against like Joffrey suspect and bring down Joffrey suspect. That's also another possibility that I'm referring. So like certainly my experience right now that actually right with my thesis that like something look like Tyrion Tyrion maybe the only thing that basically any strategy that like Tyrion tells to like the these like only people being Tyrion that like being like the one to tell that right to accept the they don't go into that factor I don't accept the with this straight away. So using the like listen to any strategies that Tyrion will be doing so it will be around the Tyrion may get only feeling is definitely better so that but later on might be hoping on uh, uh, hoping on definitely Python as well as like as well as page definitely has to like use the information everyone has given them to like tell to like to the and tell something that is their own strategy while hiding that history of that said it to be an online stereotype may be hoping because like stereotype may be hoping that they believe him Paris as well as Python as well as like they like claims it to be their own idea and tells circuit along such lines that then they would be expecting something to like you them way more of like a bigger reward than like think they really be able to let you know. Might be along the lines that everyone might be hoping for like Danish as well as Python as where suggesting around this line and once like person will be hearing that exact Friday out of their mouth instead of the theory on that at that point like they might be taking that slightly seriously into like as soon as possible greatly expand like the King's Landing army to for to be able to like defend against that the incoming status as well as defending and the last ladder of armies might be around the lines that everyone might be hoping for like to do and this might be like around kind of slightly certainly in the